Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. Wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulihil ameen wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'een wa man tabi'ahum bi ihsanin ila yawmiddin. Qala Allahu azza wa jal, alaysa Allahu bikafin abdah. Dear viewers, welcome again to another edition of this program called Social Evils and Their Redressals. Today, inshallah ta'ala, we are going to talk about one of the important factors that's again causing a lot of problems to the Muslim society. My question to myself and also to a lot of us fellow Muslims is, do we not need Allah Azza wa Jal? Or should I move one step ahead and ask, is Allah Azza wa Jal not sufficient for us? That's the ayah that I have actually recited. Allah Azza wa Jal asks the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam this question, and through him, Allah Azza wa Jal is actually asking us this question. Alaysa Allahu bikafin abdah? Is Allah Azza wa Jal not sufficient for His slave, for us? There are two kinds of people here that have this problem. One of them would perhaps go on to the extent of saying, we don't quite need Allah Azza wa Jal. Because if you need to turn on the light, you don't require Allah. If you need a little bit of water to quench your thirst, you don't need Allah. If you need to go fetch a job, you don't need Allah. If you need to marry your daughter, you don't need Allah. If you need to marry yourself, you don't need Allah. If you need to buy a car, just go, pick up the car, pay the money, have the car delivered to your house. You don't need Allah. This is what the problem the society, a large section of our Muslim society today is facing. We don't really ask from Allah Azza wa Jal. Whereas the teachings of our religion, the teachings from the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam are so or such that the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam would say, even if it's a shoelace that's broken, ask Allah Azza wa Jal first, even before you go fixing it. And today, we don't quite want to do that. Perhaps because we're not really interested in knowing the teachings of the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Perhaps because we're not even interested in learning the very religion of Islam. How about this for an analogy? وَلِلَّهِ الْمَثَلُ الْأَعْلَى. We know that Allah Azza wa Jal deserves even better examples than that we may be giving in programs like these. One analogy here. Imagine that you want to marry someone, or you have a son or a daughter and you want to marry her to someone, and you have an alliance walking up to you. You have someone who says that they want to marry your daughter, who says that their son wants to marry their daughter, your daughter. What do? Do you not go doing the background verification of that boy? Is he actually earning in the company that he is mentioned? Is he actually a graduate that he's declared? Is he actually the real nice man that he claims? Is he actually earning as much as he's quoting? And many other things. His character, his conduct, with whom he sits and with whom he roams around. You would rather want to do all that background verification in order to ensure that your daughter, your sister is getting married in the right family, your daughter, your sister is getting married to the right man, and that you do not really have to worry about their future again. That's why you want to quickly find out and do the background verification. Whereas this life that we are talking about is only about 25, 30 years of married life, or maybe 40 in some cases. However, we need Allah Azza wa Jal right from the time we were born, or should I say right from the time our moms had conceived us. From then on, not only do we need Allah Azza wa Jal throughout the end of our lives, we also need Allah Azza wa Jal even after we are dead. We also need Allah Azza wa Jal on the day of judgment when we are going to be resurrected. How much do we know Allah Azza wa Jal? What kind of background verification, if I may use this word? What I'm trying to arrive at here is Ma'rifatullah, How much do we recognize Allah Azza wa Jal? How much do we know who Allah Azza wa Jal is? How much do we know the names of Allah Azza wa Jal, the attributes of Allah Azza wa Jal? And if we know Allah Azza wa Jal sufficiently, then we would also end up asking ourselves, Alaysa Allahu bikafin abdah? Then we would also give the affirmative answer that yes, Allah Azza wa Jal alone is sufficient for us. May Allah Azza wa Jal help us rely on Allah Azza wa Jal alone in all matters. Ameen ya Rabbal Alameen. Wa akhiru da'wana anil hamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.